Well, good morning. Good to be with you again on another Doctor is in live. And I'm just waiting here for a few to come on. Bonjour. Good morning to you, Maria and Lori and Coleman, Michael from Wawa, and Kathy and Gerald. Good to have you on with us this morning. Alika, how are you? Annette, Darlene, Rosa, Elizabeth, Diane, and Kim from Timmins. Good morning, Kim. Jessica, Anna, Ronaldo from Washington. Keith, good morning to you. Heather from Winchester, Ontario. Jerry, our friend Troy, Dr. Troy from Newfoundland. And Jeanette, good morning. Micheline, Andrea, and Jerry, of course, from Nouveau-Brunswick. Keith, good morning. And good to have you on. Lori, how are you? Two Loris, one with an A and one with an O. And Mark, and good to have you on. And Jessica, Lorraine, Sherry, and Gerald is from Windsor. Yes, Gerald, good to have you on. Hold on, I missed somebody. Carmelina, how are you? And Mark, Anthony, nice having you guys on. I mean that. We appreciate it. Susan and Nick is on with us this morning. Good morning to everyone. So I'll try and go back in and say hello afterwards. Somehow I'm not able to do it like I used to. I don't know what's going on. And I'm a dinosaur. Too bad. Okay, let's talk again. This is part 2 of leaky gut. A lot of you asked after the session yesterday, okay, doc, so what do we do? How do we fix it? Okay? And I don't know if you could see that. I don't know if it got posted, but I said I used 3 R's. Okay? Remove and replace and repair. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Remove, replace, repair. If you do that, you fix leaky gut. Okay, so there is a way of fixing it. Some folks were asking about, is there a specific test for leaky gut? Not really. You just have to go based on symptoms. So let's just do a little review from yesterday. Remember, yesterday I used 3 L's. Location, location, location. Medicine is into location. Meaning that if you have rheumatoid arthritis, they treat rheumatoid arthritis. They know it's autoimmune, but they don't look at they look at the location of, let's say you got rheumatoid arthritis and you can visibly see it. It's in your joints. It's deformed your joints. But you have to go back a step further. Where did that originate? Location, location. See, doctors treat, if you have a skin like psoriasis, eczema, acne, they'll treat psoriasis, eczema, acne topically, sometimes internally with the medication. But they're not looking at where did it come from. Hippocrates said it 2,000 years ago, the gut. The gut, the gut. And then what we did, we talked about, first of all, what is leaky gut? Leaky gut is when you have particles that got into your bloodstream that don't belong there. How did they get there? How is it? You see, your body has a barrier. And we talked about that. You have a barrier. A gut-blood barrier. It's microscopic. You can't see it. If you do, a question was asked yesterday. What if I get a colonoscopy? Will that show leaky gut? No. It might show irritation of the gut. It might show ulcerative colitis. It might show diverticulosis. But it won't show leaky gut because this is submicroscopic. There is sort of a way now to detect it by analyzing bacteria in the gut. And this is a whole new area in medicine that they're looking at the stool and checking for all these colonies of bacteria, the microbiome, we call it. And by that, they can tell pretty well if you have leaky gut or not. So leaky gut, there's 1,300 studies on leaky gut in medicine. So I didn't pull a rabbit out of a hat here, folks. I'm not making this up. Leaky gut. And we talked about the origins of why you could get leaky gut. And the number one reason is medication. Antibiotics, the number one reason. Steroids, anti-steroidal medications like Advil and Motrin. And Tylenol is not really, acetaminophen is not really in that category, but it's every bit as bad. People, look, you got pain, you got a headache, you got sore back, I get it. I understand why you take a pain medication. So please don't come after me for that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is it's a double-edged sword. Antibiotics, am I saying not to get an antibiotic? You got an infection. Antibiotics are the greatest discovery of the 20th century. Saved millions of people's lives. Am I against it? Of course not. But you have a double-edged sword. The problem with antibiotics is they don't know what to kill. They kill infection, yes, but they kill all your good bacteria, and that creates dysbiosis. The dysbiosis is, it kills your friendly bacteria, and now you have a war. It's invisible. You can't see it, but it's going on inside that gut of yours. Another factor is undigested food, low acidity in the stomach, poor functioning gallbladder, or no gallbladder for a lot of people. That can really set you up for leaky gut because you got a stomach for a reason. It's to emulsify your food, break it down, make it micro-sized, not microwaved, micro-sized. So that, and this is one of the big problems in our society today. A lot of people have low acidity in their stomach. Oh, doc, I got high acidity. I got acid reflux. No, that's because of low acidity in the stomach. And now your body's overcompensating. People just don't break their food down anymore. If you don't break it down properly, it's not absorbed properly. It's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. This can create leaky gut. Food. This is why there's one of the reasons there's so many food intolerances today. But any food intolerance, listen, how do you know you have leaky gut? I have a food intolerance. I can't eat eggs. I can't have dairy. I can't have milk. Good, don't drink milk. I can't, I can't eat ice cream. Good, don't eat it. Right? I can't have gluten. Good, you don't need it. Oh, doc, I want to eat gluten-free. Well, don't do that either. Don't eat those gluten-free, all that garbage, because that's what it is, garbage. Okay? So, and I didn't even talk about yesterday, one of the biggest things in leaky gut is stress. Stress. Your blood supply, I always call stress a diversion. You're uptight. And for a lot of people, they're uptight all the time. And it's that constant drip, 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 drip of cortisol. Constantly dripping of cortisol. That's not good for your gut. That's not good. Because it changes the microbiome in your gut. It creates inflammation in the gut. So this is leaky gut. And remember, leaky gut, most of the time, not always, don't think of it as several yesterday came back to me and said, well, if I have trouble eating, I have leaky gut. You might have. But some people have no symptoms in the location of their gut. Their symptoms are elsewhere. And we talked about how many yesterday? We talked about the brain, leaky gut, leaky brain, leaky gut, leaky lungs, leaky gut, leaky skin, leaky gut, leaky joints, leaky gut, leaky sinuses, leaky gut, leaky kidneys, leaky leaky gut, leaky bladder, ladies. Yeah. Recurring UTIs. You got leaky gut. You got yeast that's covering your bladder. How did it get there? Right? How did it get there? Came into the bloodstream. Yeast doesn't belong in the bloodstream. It shouldn't get past that barrier, but it does. I've had physicians tell me right to my face and tell their patients and my patients, oh, you could never get fungus in the blood. It would kill you. Yeah, it will kill you, but it's going to be very slow. It can get into your blood. Leaky gut. So, and, one thing that I remember, this is 30 years ago, at least that long ago, maybe longer than that even. But I remember dentists putting out stuff that was interesting because they were saying that, you got to check your mouth because bacteria in your mouth can leave that location and travel in the bloodstream and attack your heart. That was at least 30 years ago. That not all dentists were talking about it, but a lot of dentists were. And they were talking about gum disease. Location. Yeah, in your mouth, but that bacteria can go down and attack the pericardium and attack your heart. And they were talking about inflammation. The body's response to that bacteria leaving your gum lines and heading off into the bloodstream. And they were specifically talking about how it can attack your heart. They can do more than that. Leaky mouth. There's another one. I just made that up. Leaky mouth, leaky heart. That came out 30 years ago, at least that long. I was fascinated by that. Okay, so how do we fix it? How do you fix it? Remove. First R, if you're taking notes. Remove. Remove sugar from your diet. Remove. You have to remove sugar. Why? What has sugar got to do with the gut? Everything. Because sugar feeds bad bacteria, but more importantly, sugar feeds yeast, candida. Don't feed the bears. Remove sugar from your diet. Okay? Remove it. Essential. Remove crappy carbohydrates. Crappy carbs. Remove it. Bread, pasta, rice, cereals, sugars, sweets, pastries, muffins, bagels, milk, crappy carbs, alcohol. It's a carbohydrate. Going to be sugar in 5 seconds. Anything with high fructose corn syrup, remove it. So if it says sugar on the label, don't eat it. Don't drink it. I know it's strict, but if you want to fix it, you have to get that out of your diet. Remove. Remove those vegetable oils, those highly industrialized, like no margarine, no cookies, no crackers. No canola oil, nothing like that. We call them either vegetable oils or seed oils. They really affect the gut. They destroy the microbiome. They feed yeast. I know it's strict, guys. I get it. I understand that. But I've got to give you the information. That's why I, you know, some people get discouraged on the reset. You know, they do. Because they, you know, immediately don't feel great. Some people feel fantastic after a few days. But you have to understand why I created that. It's a 30-day program to get rid of leaky gut, empty your liver, regenerate your pancreas, take out all the inflammation in your body. You have to look at the big picture. Oh, doc, my energy's down. Yeah, well, you're detoxing. I don't feel good unless I eat carbs. I know, but that's not good for you. In the long run, you'll see. You got to stick it out. It's not easy. I write that right in my new book. This is simple, but it's not easy. It's simple. A kid could understand it. Oh, doc, what do I eat? Eggs, meat, and cheese. Yeah, what else? Nothing else. Now, you can have them in 100 different varieties. I don't care. But for 30 days, you need to comply. And I don't want to beat anybody up. I'm just telling you how it works. I've seen it. Leaky gut is fixed with the reset. You've removed every food that I don't want you to eat. The first R is remove. The second R is replace. Remove, replace. What's replace? Replace that bacteria. Replace that bacteria. Probiotics. 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 They are the key. You must replace. To replace the lining. Replace the lining. You need to take probiotics. Every day, Doc? Yeah, every day. Look, guys, I you know me, by the way. I'm a food guy. I'm a food guy. That's your medicine. So if you want to make fermented foods, good for you. And I'm all for it. I love fermented foods. From sauerkraut, you want to make your own yogurt? Hey, go for it. Get a kit and make your own yogurt. Kefir, how do you call it? I don't know. Kefir. I love it. No sugar. But those are good. But they're not broad spectrum. Broad spectrum means it's got at least 10 different bacteria in it. That's why I talk about it all the time. I've been talking about probiotics for so long. I've been to this dance before. For a long time. Consistent. And yes, this is, you need not only to replace or remove. You need to replace. Okay, that's number 2. Now I want you to repair. Now probiotics are part of that. But part of the reparation, I'm just going to talk about 3 or 4 things. 3 or 4 things. You need vitamin W. What's vitamin W? Water. Oh, I wish we had a light on top of our head that said, would you add water, please? Your gut needs water. In order for it to repair, your cells need H2O. And there's nothing like H2O. Only water is water. What is the best water? Mineral water. It's got minerals in it. That's how you're meant to drink water. That's what would come out of the soil, the ground, right? You got a well, you got mineral water. Okay? Now, all water is good, but mineral water is the best. It's got the best pH. And if you are, drinking from a tap, filter it, please. Get the fluoride out of there. If anything else, like in Sudbury, somebody showed me this back in the 1990s, that Sudbury puts about 2,300 chemicals, all told, into the water system here. All those chemicals going to give you a leaky gut. So at least filter it. Filter the water. If you're taking water out of your fridge, well, good for you. It's already filtered. I would add a little pinch of Himalayan salt. Part of the repair is water for your gut. Here's another one. Bone broth. Make your own or take it. Why do I love bone broth? Well, lots of reasons. One of the greatest things in bone broth is L-glutamine. It repairs the lining of your gut. Repair. Water. Bone broth. Well, bone broth's got everything else in it too. All the minerals. You need that. Collagen. The best protein in the world is collagen. That's what bone broth is. Somebody on our Facebook page showed they were making their own. Beautiful. If you do Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie with bone broth, that's the powder I recommend. It regenerates. Good for the gut. Takes that little wee lining in your gut and repairs it. Repair. You know what's a good repair? Digestive enzymes. Remember the other day I was talking to you and I never finished on all the personalities. I did, the personalities in the news. Do you remember that? That's a podcast report. I never did the fourth one. I was going to tell you about this. But I ran out of time. And then, the next day I was on to something else. But let me tell it to you now. What I was telling you back then, remember what Miley Cyrus and who's the boxer? I've forgotten the guy's name already. Mike Tyson. What did they have in common? They gave up on veganism. Woohoo! Well, they found out they weren't feeling very good. Right? Because you're not getting all the nutrients you need. And then the third one was Anthony Fauci, a new superstar because of COVID. And he said something the other day about vitamin D and vitamin C. Did you get our email today from Tony Jr.? Get that teaching. If you're not signed up for our emails, sign up. Tony Jr. put a teaching out this morning on vitamin D. Tremendous. That's what Tony Fauci admits he takes for his immune system. Not taking very much, but that's all right. At least he's taking it. It got some ink. You know what the fourth one was? And you might have seen this and you might not have. Suzanne Summers. Okay? And do you have to be my age to know who that is? Three's Company. The infomercial queen, Suzanne Summers. And she's written a lot but she's become a health advocate, okay? I think most of you would know that, but maybe you haven't heard that. But she's become a health advocate. You know why? Because Suzanne Summers got cancer. She was so angry because she was always in good shape. And she ended up meeting a doctor like me. Not me, a doctor like me. And he said, well, no wonder you got cancer. You're so full of estrogen, it's coming out your ears. And nobody had ever told her that. And she had a very aggressive cancer. But she became like you guys are. She became self-educated. And, we're talking, 25 years ago at least? And she started writing about it. And educating herself and surrounding herself with doctors who think outside the box. And you know what she said the other day? I couldn't believe the amount. I had to listen to it twice. She said, well, one of the biggest things I do to keep myself healthy is I take, listen to what she said, 80. I mean, I've never heard anything like it. digestive enzymes a day. Wow! But she said, all I can see is those little enzymes, like Pac-Man, are eating up cancer cells. And it was in the news, but in the news behind the news. I can't even exactly remember where I saw it. But I was chuckling. To me, you don't have to take 80 digestive enzymes a day. But I love digestive enzymes for what? Repair. Because what will give your gut a huge break is if you break your food down properly before it gets in there. And that's what enzymes do. Now, your body makes enzymes. Your pancreas makes enzymes. You make enzymes to break your food down. Lipase and amylase and protease. These are important enzymes. As we get older, we don't make as many. If you have leaky gut, I think it's an important therapeutic to repair. Bone broth, digestive enzymes. I used to call them American Express. Don't leave home without them. You got any kind of digestive issue, digestive enzymes. I love them. You know what else repairs? Oil of oregano. It repairs. It's an antioxidant. It kills off bad bacteria. Doesn't kill your good guys. I love oil of oregano. Oil of oregano owes me money. Because I've been preaching it for so long. When I had my own radio show in Northern Ontario for 20 years, some of the sales guys for natural products used to tell me, I had a friend that sold natural products, and he was a salesman for natural products into the health food stores. And he told me one time, he said, Dr. Martin, the highest sales of oil of oregano are in Sudbury, in all of Canada. Thanks to you, he said. I said, well, send me check. I didn't get any money from that. No, but you guys, you know me, I've always promoted that. It helps. It's a natural antibiotic, a natural antifungal, a natural antiparasitic. We put it right in our digestive enzymes. Why? They only kill the bad guys. I was talking to a lady yesterday about H. pylori, which is a bacteria that loves to inhabit your stomach. Oil of oregano, it's like Raid. Remember those old commercials for Raid? H. pylori and yeast and all that, they're having a party, and then remember the old can of Raid? I used to like that commercial. Raid! Remember how the bugs used to say, and then they'd scatter, right? Well, H. pylori scatters when you take oil of oregano. That's how good it is for you. Kills yeast. Kills bacteria. Kills the bad guys, not the good guys. See, that's a nature's antibiotic. It's nature's antibiotic. It knows the difference between good, bad, and ugly bacteria. I'm telling you. I love it. Okay? What else do we use for repair? Coffee. Vitamin C. Coffee. Good for your gut. It brings repair into the gut. Now, I don't make any money on coffee either. You know that, eh? My wife says I only look for studies on coffee that are positive. I agree. If anybody says anything negative about coffee, I dismiss it. But I'm telling you, very reparative, very anti-inflammatory. No sugar, though. Don't put sugar in your coffee. Otherwise, you're defeating the purpose. It won't help with repair. Coffee helps repair the lining of your gut. How do you like that? That's why it's so good as an anti-cancer. Coffee is anti-cancer. Anti-pancreatic, anti-esophageal, anti-stomach, anti-bowel cancer. There's studies on that. And I didn't write those studies. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. Zinc is good too, by the way. So where do you get zinc? Vitamin S. Steak. Eat steak. It's good for your gut. There you go. So leaky gut. Leaky gut. Location, location, location. Remove, replace, repair. Do you like those little R's? Okay. So tomorrow is Friday. Question and answer. Send me in your questions. I'll try and answer every one of them. If you don't get our emails, please sign up for our emails. And they're really good educational tools. They really are. And like I said, Tony Jr. did one today on vitamin D. Watch that. Watch the little video he put out. It's fantastic. I'm telling you. Next week, he announced it today on the email, and you'll get more information on this. We're going to do a webinar. Tony Jr. and I, after taking the whole summer off, really, are going to do a webinar, and you're going to be invited to get on it. It's called Bulletproofing Your Lungs. You got to get on this. It's going to be very, very good. Okay? We're doing some work on it. It's good. How to bulletproof your lung. Number one cancer still today, number one, is lung cancer. It's still the biggest killer in cancers in our society today. But we want you to bulletproof your lungs, and we're going to show you how to do that. Okay? That'll be on a webinar next Wednesday. I think it's at 7 p.m. But coming to a theater near you. So it's coming. You can sign up for that. We'll show you how to do that. Don't ask me. I don't know how to do it. But we'll show you how to do it. Okay? So, love you guys. Send your questions in. And we'll talk soon. God bless you.